You've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail. These are the 5 biggest mistakes I see in most breakups, and most of them actually might surprise you, so stick around and you just might be able to boss your breakup a little bit better today. Welcome back to The Love Fix. It's Nick, as always, doing my best to get you through your breakups. If you need my help with your breakup situation, with your heartbreak, hit the coaching link in the description below and book your appointment with me. If that is not enough for you, come and join the wonderful Facebook community. That link is also in the description. Just hit the link, press join, and I will approve your access. Without further ado, let's get into the biggest breakup mistakes and fouls that I see almost every day. Mistake number 1 is stalking your ex's social media. And I find it very interesting because when I do coach people, and one of the first things I say, hey, look, you need to come off social media. Well, not come off it per se, but you need to stop looking at your ex's social media. It's like I've just asked them to cut off their arm. And I find this really bizarre because you think about it. When someone passes away, there's a finality to it. We know they're gone. They're not coming back. We know this. As human beings, we're taught this from day one. Back in the day when a breakup would happen, there was no access to your ex unless you physically went to their house and stalked them, and then the police would get involved. In today's world, it is far easier to gain access through a multitude of platforms to your ex, and that makes it far harder to process the breakup. Back in the day, out of sight, out of mind. You had a phone or you had their address. That was it. Now, our brains can never accept the breakup because we can't grieve. And the reason we can't grieve is because we're constantly checking in on their social media. We're constantly checking their friends' social media or their families. And then we're making logical fallacies between what they're posting and their stories and all this passive aggressive bullshit that goes on. And we try to make connections. Oh, this is obviously about me. And so on and so forth. So, guys, enough with the social media. Social media did not exist 20 years ago. Now, my generation just about escaped it. Social media didn't really happen for me until I was like late teens, early 20s. So I remember the days without social media, and the generation before me did. But this current generation was raised on social media, so I appreciate that it's a lot more difficult, but you have to make that conscious decision. Just like when you make a conscious decision to go to the gym and put yourself through that pain to have a better body, a better body, or you make that conscious decision to say, right, okay, I'm not going to have a donut today or a slice of pizza. I'm going to stick to my diet and I will indulge tomorrow and I have one or 2 slices tomorrow. It's a conscious effort, but trust me, guys, it will make such a difference. It will help you accept the breakup, and it will let you grieve, and that is so important. Mistake 2 is that you're not feeding your feelings, and you're working on yourself too much, because that becomes like a distraction. Now, I preach, work on yourself, work on yourself, work on yourself. And there is a time and a place for that. I'm not saying don't work on yourselves. I'm not saying don't go to the gym and don't improve your finances and all that good stuff, or your spirituality, whatever. But there does come a tipping point where we're using all that breakup fuel, all that anger, and we're pouring it into something else. And whilst that does have an effect, and trust me, guys, it made me a lot more ambitious. Like I got a lot more done. But for the first 6 months of my breakup, I wasn't dealing with it. In fact, I just suppressed it, and then it caught up with me, and it fucked me over good. So you have to allow time to process the breakup. You have to allow time for this. You have to sit down in a room with no distractions, phone off, no sound, and just journal or be with your thoughts or meditate and feel your feelings. I think men have a much harder time than women with this, and a lot of neuroscientists would say that this is why men don't get over a breakup as quickly as a woman, because a woman will feel her feelings a lot more at the beginning. They will feel it. And whilst that is intense, It's actually letting them grieve, where a man won't do that. We actually grieve a bit later on, and then, it's a whole mess of things. So guys, yes, work on yourself, level up, but find time to have a quiet time and be alone with your thoughts and your feelings and grieve it, process it, let it come out. Mistake number 3, dumpees are narcissistic. Now, that may sound a little bit shocking and a little bit jarring. Now, I'm not saying that you are a narcissist. What I'm saying is dumpees become narcissistic. Our natural narcissistic traits, everyone has narcissistic traits, but they are amplified during a breakup, especially when you've been dumped, because the thought process is like this: how could they? How dare they? I would never do that to them. That hurt me so bad. Me. No one can make you feel anything, guys. Not really. No one can make you feel shit. Yeah? It's a conscious decision. Now, what I want you to do, this is the difference in the mindset. And again, this might be a little bit jarring, and might be a little bit more difficult to just wrap your heads around it. Try to have the attitude is that the breakup wasn't about me. It was about the romantic relationship they had with me. Now, if you can try to put yourself into the dumper's mindset, the dumper left your romantic relationship based on how they felt about the romantic relationship with you. So it's not about you per se. They're not attacking you. They're not saying you're a bad person. They're just saying, hey, look, I still love you, but I don't want romance anymore. But as dumpees, and guys, hands up, I've done all of this. Everything I'm telling you here, I've done it. I've literally done all of this. It is, I feel so bad. They made me feel this way. Why would they do this to me? Why would they hurt me? They didn't do anything. Unless, of course, if they've cheated, if they've abused you and stuff like that, okay, they've done things to hurt you. There are exceptions to the rule, and I get that. And, I'm here for you guys as well. But when it just comes to someone that has rebounded, cheated and stuff like that, it is not a reflection of you. It is not you. It is them. So try to have that mindset that it was their decision based on their reality, based on their traumas. Because here's the thing, guys, and I heard something a few weeks back that just blew my mind. If you had the same experiences as they had, the same upbringing, the same traumas, the same life, you would be doing the same thing as them. When we say, oh, I wouldn't have done that, you are operating from your life experience, from your upbringing, from your projected preferred outcome. That's what you're operating from. So try to take a step back and just say, oh, well, that's who they are. They did what they did, and now I have to go and heal that for myself. Mistake number 4, your imagination is filling in the gaps. Now, this kind of links back to point number 1 in social media. They got over it so quickly. It's obvious they're happy without me. It's obvious that they're rebounding or they're with someone new. And we normally make these assumptions based on little to no evidence. We'll take a tiny snippet from social media or something a friend told us, and then our brains will construct this elaborate novel of what their life is like now without us, and we just don't know. We don't know how they're feeling, not what they're thinking. But what I can tell you guys, as someone that's been a dumper many times, I've been dumped many times, I've coached dumpees and I've coached dumpers. In fact, I'm actually getting a lot of dumpers come to me now. It's quite bizarre. And the dumpers are saying, I feel really, really bad. I really miss this person. And I'm going through breakup anxiety and I feel shit. Because, guys, they still, a lot of time, the dumper doesn't want to dump. They don't wake up one day and just think, oh yeah, fuck them. I don't want to be with them anymore. I don't want this relationship anymore. It's a big lifestyle change, especially if you've been with each other more than a year, especially if you're living together, if you've got kids, if you've got mortgages, you've got a joint bank account. It's just, they've got to a point where the pain of staying in a relationship with you is way more than a lifestyle change without you. So we don't know. Our imagination will fill in the gaps based on our anxiety, based on our projection, based on our traumas. It's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it will never ever serve you well. Mistake number 5, it was all a waste of time. I hear this almost daily. Guys, no, it was not a waste of time. Every breakup, every sexual partner, every date you have that didn't quite work out taught you exactly the lesson you needed to learn. Now, you can either be open to that and say, right, okay, what lesson did this teach me? Or you can be closed down to that. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm going to encourage you to have that mindset of, okay, what did this teach me? Why did that fail? Why wasn't we compatible at this time in life? Why didn't we have chemistry? Why did I choose this person? Why did I choose to lay with that person? So it's not a waste of time. It will teach you something about life. It will teach you something about your character and your internal fortitude and what you need to work on. And it will teach you about other people. It will teach you about they're operating from their worldview, from their point of view. And there is nothing you can do about that. But you can ask yourself the question, why was I attracted to that person and why did I attract them? What is the lesson that I need to learn here? What do I need to work on? What do I need to patch up? What do I need to improve? It's never a waste of time. It's always a learning experience. And if you let it be, it will teach you how to be better in your next relationship. And that's all I've got for today. Always remember, you are enough. You're doing just fine. And I'm proud of every one of you. Thank you for supporting the channel. And thank you for over the 2,000 people that are in my Facebook group now. And thank you for everybody that hires me to give me the opportunity to coach you through this. I'll see you on the other side.